Now the question is, what's next for the community and investigators now that the fire is burning out?
So joining us right now, fireworks accident expert Richard Meyer to explain what this investigation could look like as crews begin the recovery process. Thank you so much for your time. So if you were investigating this scene, what are you looking for at this particular juncture?
At this particular junction, the first thing I would be looking for is the source of ignition. How did the fireworks become ignited in the first place? Was it a brush fire or a structure fire that spread to the fireworks? Was it an accidental source, say a generator or a compressor, or some piece of equipment being used in the facility that could have ignited the fireworks? And then the second thing I'd be looking for would be, what are the contributing factors that helped this accident? Did they fail to keep combustible materials away from the fireworks as they're required to do? Did they fail to keep ignition sources far enough away from the fireworks? Were they storing the fireworks in too large quantities too close together? There's a number of agencies that have regulations on how much fireworks or explosives can be stored in a particular spot and how far apart they have to be. That includes OSHA, the Occupational Health and Safety Administration, the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. So I would be looking at those regulations and standards and see if they were in violation of those standards.
Richard, one of the things that Mike DeSalle, our reporter that's on the scene, said this morning that he heard from the officials that he spoke to, they told him, and I'm quoting here, there is a reason that there is such a large perimeter. We, heard you mention the number of agencies involved. What do you ascertain from what they said? Like, what does that signal for you when they say something like, there's a reason there's such a large perimeter, there's a reason why reporters are being kept a mile from this scene?
Well, we're talking about a large number of individual explosive devices which may not have all necessarily ignited during the event. You can have an explosion that scatters these things for, quite a distance. Some of these larger fireworks, just as they're normally shot, can go a quarter mile or more. You also have the possibility that there may be smoldering materials there that could ignite these, or there may be I understand that there's brush fires going on that could cause further ignitions. So one of the major factors, I'm sure, is safety. They're trying to keep the people away from potential explosions.
Richard, we'll get you out on this question. How long could an investigation of this magnitude, how long could it take to find that cause? And again, I'm sure that this is one of those multi-step processes that they're going to have to go through.
Generally speaking, my experience is when you're dealing with large governmental agencies and accidents of this magnitude, you're looking at least a few months before any kind of report comes out. There may be an interim report, say in 3 to 6 months, maybe a final report in a year. Unfortunately, they don't go quickly, and we don't get the answers as fast as what we'd like.
All right, Richard Meyer, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us a great perspective as this investigation is at very early stages. We know that people often want those answers very quickly, but we do recognize that it does take time to really figure out what happened. Thank you.
You're welcome.